We are a family of 5 that moved down from the Yukon Territory to British Columbia 3 years ago. We looked for a property for 20 years. We believe in owning land and generational wealth. But as time went by and prices went up, it felt like this would never happen. So when we found a property that was on fire the day that we looked at it, that did not deter us from making an offer. We packed everything up, and 6 months later, in January of 2022, we said goodbye to the north. The drive should have taken us 20 hours, but driving the bus loaded down with all of our stuff, it took us 40. It was pretty rough. Some hills, we didn't even move the speedometer. All I remember is once we arrived at the property, we unloaded the bus so we could sleep in it. It was a very long night. This may have been the coldest night of my life, and I'm not even exaggerating. We spent the next 4 days converting the bus into something that we could live in. You see, this wasn't a plan until it was the plan. We set up a wood stove, a diesel heater, and we lived in our snow pants. We went to town and showered once a week. You heard that correctly, once a week. We did set up a shower 3 months in, but showering at a truck stop for 3 months will keep you humble. To stay warm in a Canadian winter, when you live in a school bus and you're always cold, you work to stay warm. You have to get your blood pumping. So we mapped out and started clearing the driveway up to where our house would go. It was over 1 kilometer long. We had a lot of fires, which helped us stay warm. We basically smelled like a campfire for 8 months straight. Besides working on the driveway, we also bought a sawmill to cut the lumber for our house. You see, at this point, we were not thinking of building a cabin. We thought we would build a garage and live in that until the house was built. But living in the bus changes you, and you dream of watching TV on a couch and being warm. And our plan wasn't working, so we picked a spot and started milling lumber for a cabin. The one that you saw in the intro. There will be more videos on how that was made. Because our life wasn't dirty enough, we decided to surprise our kids with a puppy. And at the same time, because we had a mouse problem in the bus, we bought a polydactyl cat, which means it just has extra claws. Our property had a raging fire the previous year. We were blessed with morel mushrooms. This was surprisingly so much fun to pick. It was like an Easter egg hunt. I don't even like mushrooms, but this was fun. They sold for between $6 to $8 a pound that year. I picked while Scott milled and built our cabin. Some days were better than others, but we got to walk every square inch of our property picking, and we got to know the terrain really well. I am skipping around a lot, but on July 1st of 2022, just 6 months after we had moved down to BC, we started on the cabin. It was a small cabin with an upstairs for bedrooms. We settled on gambrel roof style, which just means it will look like a barn, because we could build those ourselves. We had to be out of the bus before the snow fell. We gave ourselves a deadline. All right, that is the first 6 to 8 months of living here. I should mention, which I'm not sure how this didn't come up, but we are off-grid, so that changes pretty much everything for us. And some other random facts about us are we homeschooled our 3 children for 9 years, the last 9 years that they had school. We prayed for this property for 20 years without giving up. And one day we will own a donkey. So thanks for sticking around and till the end. And I promise this will only get better as my editing skills improve.